It's just a bizarre thing. Like,
It is.
I don't know why anybody would try that in 2000 and at any time. Like, it's usually like, you want to grab a coffee or a beer and we'll shoot the breeze, talk about golf. You want to play 9 holes, have lunch. To do something like that is just completely ridiculous. I don't know why he would think that that would be a normal thing to do.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of shocked that it's not like that. It was just on the Columbus's end, just kind of put to bed like that, where it was like, this is the part of relationship building. That's just bizarre stuff. I'm sorry.
Unless it's exactly like that, unless the statement, like he was like, yeah, I'm not denying it. We did this. And like, that's the only thing, like, I
know, but it's still bizarro world.
It smells like something smells.
But it's bizarre also because it's Babcock and his reputation.
Right. The reputation is earned from Mike Babcock. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. He's a polarizing guy in this market, obviously throughout the league, in Detroit as well, where he won cups. But I was telling Hayes and Grappler off air, like, I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in a long time over the weekend, and they were talking about, hey, you're married with kids. Like, show me your son. Show me. And I opened the phone, showed pictures. Now, I don't know if that's a normal conversation, but that's not what's being depicted here. That's what's kind of weird for me. That's what Columbus is saying. We did it that way. On the other side, Biz and the guys are saying that's not what we heard. So where's the truth? Like, that's the...
Well, if the truth is, give me your phone, I want to see your phone, and let me into the pics, and I'm going to then plug it into the TV in my office.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is bizarro world. That is way beyond, because anybody with, like, I would have said, dude, go eat your hat. Like, you're not taking my phone and plugging it into your TV in your office. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, the whole idea of the phone going into the TV and let me go through your stuff, it's just, I don't know. For a guy that would, like, his contract is ended, who you think would try to, it's stupidity to be like, if those things are to be true, it's stupidity and it's bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, again, from Babcock's perspective, it doesn't mean he was coming at it from a nefarious position.
Whatever way he thought, Hayes, he had to have known that this was somewhat idiotic to do.
Probably, but the players are falling on the sword for him, because Johnny Gaudreau's down in Vegas doing this circuit right now. Gaudreau's saying exactly what Boone Jenner said. It would suggest to me Boone Jenner effectively had the career of Mike Babcock in his hands. If his interpretation was, I felt there was a violation, I don't know why he asked for it, I didn't like it, and he went public with it, I don't think Mike Babcock's the coach of the Blue Jackets right now.
Right. No,
he didn't.
You're damn right.
He didn't. Instead, he said, I had no problem with it. We were sharing. He asked, I showed. So if that's the case, again, we have this perception of Babcock, and I think it's understandable why people feel the way they feel about him. And as a result, he gets labeled as a guy that's always going to do the wrong thing or always be anti-player, because he's got a history of that. And maybe he's got a future with that. Listen, I'm not of the belief that he's been rehabilitating for 4 years. I don't think it was some coincidence that the second his deal with the Maple Leafs ended, he signed with Columbus.
Yeah.
He was waiting for every check to cash, and then he said, I'm back in. I'll take the job in Columbus. But everything he does is not necessarily from a I'm a bad guy angle, I guess is what I'm saying. And because it's Babcock, the flares are going off naturally. And if Boone Jenner came out and said, I didn't like it, then this guy should have been gone. But if Jenner and Gaudreau are like, hey, I don't have a problem with it, then Babcock's the coach.
I do agree that everything that this guy does is like most likely, it's not evil Mike Babcock, everything he does. But there's still what people that have been associated with him in the past are concerned about is just the power trip, the power of give me your phone, let me see what's in there, to grown adults that are like, okay, I guess I got to show this guy my phone or whatever.
But
just
the thing is
like, what guy in their right mind as a coach in the NHL right now would even think about that process? I guarantee you polled 32 other coaches in the league. No one except this guy. So why is he doing it is the question.
I'd go there. If John Cooper walked up to me and said, hey, show me a picture of your family, I'd do it because I know John Cooper. And, you know him well. Like, I think it's Babcock. I think it's also a situation of interpretation. But you're right. If Boone Jenner was like, dude, that's private. I'm not interested in showing that.
But, Jamie, think about what you just said. John Cooper would never do that. He would never say, hey, show me a picture of your family. Not many people, like, say that.
Well,
they're like, how's the fam jam?
Well, I'll be
nobody
honest.
says, show me. Like, I got to, it's just like, what do you, no.
If you're a family guy,
I'm good.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm the other way. Like, if you're a family guy and you want to know
it's
about
usually
somebody,
offered up. Like, oh, you haven't seen the kids in 10 years? This is what they look like now. Not the other person saying, hey, let me see.
And let's clarify, there is a superior and not an inferiority complex here with Jenner. Jenner's a player. He's represented by the association. He's a vet. He's the captain. He's got money. But there is a power struggle here.
Absolutely.
Where it's one thing if your friend is like, hey, what's up? And then you're equals. Boone Jenner is not an equal with Mike Babcock. That is where there still is a level of interpretation here, regardless of what Jenner said, Goudreau said, where, he's the coach.
Right.
He's the coach. And if a coach asks you to do something, it can be awkward. Not that it has to be awful or like this massive violation.
But there may be like,
what am I supposed to do?
Like if he was uncomfortable doing that, then that's where you call it to the carpet. If he's not, he's like, it's not a big deal.
I agree with you
So,
there.
like,
I agree with you there. But I guess what I'm saying is it feels like when it's Babcock, everything is inflammable.
It's and it's noisy and loud.
Noisy
and
already.
They're not even to the ice yet.
They haven't even. That's the amazing thing. Camp hasn't even opened. Like, when would you have been exchanging pictures and setting up your office?
Yeah. It's just,
like, when would this have been happening?
Well, you're meeting with players. Like, I
guess.
I don't know. It just. I'm envisioning.
Only Babcock.
You're right.
Set
Only
up a
Babcock is
like
this because I'm envisioning you're trying to get to know players, like Brad Treliving. He's trying to get to know Morgan Riley and all of this. Like, how does that conversation go down? It's probably normal. You go for lunch, you go for dinner, you talk about family, you talk about kids, you talk about all these things. I don't know how it got to like, well, it's being framed as like, well, give me your phone and it's got to be this and that.
Right.
If it went down that way, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like that's using your power. And if you're uncomfortable, it'd be like, I'm not showing you.
Right. And on another layer to it is, it's one thing to say, hey, let me see it. It's another thing to walk in the next time and the picture's circulating around the
weird.
office.
Like that.
If that's happening, that's strange, man.
If the comment was made, let me see your phone, period. It's just
that's I think crossing a line. But
especially like coach and player introduction. You have no relationship, no history.
I think the only thing that I would want more of in hearing this story is context. Like I want to hear how this transaction
You're
went
not going to
down.
get that from Babcock because he'll have his guard up.
You're not going to get it from Columbus.
And now the players are all on the same page. The team has collectively come together because this would have been DEFCON 5.
For sure.
Like this, or DEFCON 1, I guess. This would have been like everyone get together. What the hell's going on? Like the power of that podcast, the power of Biz.
Yeah.
He's got a massive audience, massive following. And listen, Paul is not backed off. Like Biz is saying, this is what I'm hearing.
This is what I heard. I'm not going to lie about it.
Yeah. And like Babcock, they haven't even started.
That's
camp.
The thing, man. Like it's
and
not.
People are like, why do you have pictures in your office?
Dude, if me and Noodles went to your house,
it's wild.
If me and Noodles went to your house like before September 7th when we started, and you sat down and said, give me the phones, fellas. Let's plug them into the. Noodles would be coming off the top turnbuckle.
It would be
splitting your forehead. We would be out the door. It's just
weird.
I don't get it. I don't want to make light of it either.
No, I know that. I know. And
it's just it's unreal that that would be his attempt to get to know one another. It's ridiculous.
And